The U.S. economy grew more than expected in the 3 months to September, official figures showed. The world's largest economy expanded at an unusually rate of 2% in the third quarter, the Commerce Department said. The jump was partly due to a large increase in government spending. The figures are one of the last pieces of important economic data before the U.S. presidential election between Barack Obama and his challenger Mitt Romney on November 6. Federal government expenditures and gross investment increased 9.6% compared with the previous. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Quarter, while national defense spending rose by 13%. The Commerce Department said there was a jump in personal consumption as well. A drought in the U.S., which was the worst for 50 years, cut farm output and took 0.4 percentage points off the GDP figures, the Commerce Department said. With more than 20 million Americans unemployed and huge public deficit, the economy has become one of the central issues of the campaign. The U.S. has now been growing for more than 3 years, since June 2009. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Is prospect that we could do better next year if we could clear up some of the uncertainties, particularly the fiscal cliff. Nigel Galt, U.S. economist. IHS Global Insight growth came in a little higher than we had feared, largely because of the big jump in federal spending, said Paul Ashworth, chief U.S. economist at Capital Economics. But the economy is still not growing rapidly enough to create sufficient jobs to reduce the unemployment rate. Economic fight. Mr. Romney has repeatedly challenged President Obama's record, saying we have. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Not made the progress we need to make. If the president were re-elected, we go to almost $20 trillion, pounds 12.4% of national debt. This puts us on a road to Greece, Mr. Romney said during the second presidential debate. Mr. Obama replied that his opponent did not have a 5-point plan to fix the economy, but a 1-point plan. Last month, the U.S. unemployment rate fell to 7.8%, down from 8.1%, its lowest since January 2009 when Mr. Obama's term in office began. Nigel Galt, chief U.S. economist. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. The IHS Global Insight said, there is prospect that we could do better next year if we could clear up some of the uncertainties, particularly the fiscal cliff. A lot of the ingredients for stronger growth are falling into place, particularly the gradual easing of credit conditions and the improvement in the housing market. The fiscal cliff refers to automatic tax hikes and government spending cuts that were agreed by Democrats and Republicans during the last budget face-off, which will drain about $600 billion out of the economy next year unless action is taken by. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Congress. To help get the U.S. economy back on track, the U.S. Federal Reserve in September restarted its policy of pumping money into the economy via quantitative easing. The Federal pledged to buy $40 billion of mortgage debt a month, with the aim of reducing long-term borrowing costs for firms and households. Growth was fairly resilient, said Christopher Verkiel, the currency analyst at Baileys, but nevertheless, this is still not the stable recovery the Federal Reserve is looking for. Recent housing data has also shown some encouraging signs of recovery, analysts say. Thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. Sales of existing homes and housing construction have picked up and the main home price index has risen consecutively for 3 months. House prices have rebounded in some areas, while mortgage rates are expected to stay at record lows because of low interest rates. The Federal has vowed to keep rates at the current levels of close to zero until 2015. The economy grew by 1.3% in the previous quarter. The U.S. states its growth in annualized terms, meaning that its quarterly growth rate is extrapolated as a thank you for trying verbose. This recording will go away once the product has been purchased. It was growing at that pace for the whole year.